Welcome to the FGTN show, Fishing Gear and Tech News. I'm your host, Alex Tim, and tonight's headline is all about early ice setups, as you probably saw in the title and the thumbnail, for walking out. That's a jet sled, the new sonar sled, smitty sled setups. Basically, what are you walking out on the ice with? What are those setups? We're in that season now. Hopefully, you're going to get some ideas for how to dial yours in for this season and maybe some modifications that you want to do coming up here. We will also hit a few quick standouts from the St. Paul Ice Show. That limited red, white, and blue Engel bait cooler. If you didn't see it, I do have it linked down below. There is a limited quantity left. They are on sale. We're going to talk about that here in a second. The new Pro Ultralight Shuttle is a new shuttle that's out that I just recently found out. I think it was launched like 2 weeks ago. The Fishbumper Trifold that came out in the summer. I just saw it at the ice show, so it's like I got to let you know about it. And then the tungsten torpedo spoon. If you are watching live or on the replay squad, tell me in the chat, what does your walking out early ice setup look like this year? Even in the middle of the year, when you're going to be walking out and pulling behind you, no machine, no vehicle, you're walking out. What does your setup look like this year? I cannot wait to hear about it. All right. We got the crew joining us here. What's up, Blaine? Fierce Outdoors, Cardio Casey. What's up? Raid, let's go. Nice to see you all. Doug, nice to see you there too. Okay, all right. St. Paul Ice Show was this last weekend. This is the largest ice show in the country every single year. There is, if you are a Wisconsinite, there is the Wisconsin show upcoming this weekend, I do believe. So get out to Oshkosh and join in on that party if you are in the area. I will not be there because I will be on the ice this weekend. So hopefully some content coming out from that as well. That'll be my first ice this upcoming weekend. I wanted to get out this last weekend, but I couldn't because I realized I have a ton of gear and filming to do and assembly. So I put together my early ice walking out setup, which I will not show tonight, but it'll be in the video after this weekend. We'll do a walkthrough. I did pick up the sonar sled and I did something unique. I have not seen anybody else do this before, so I think this will be fun. But anyways, St. Paul Ice Show, a couple of things that I want to talk about. Somebody pinged me about this, and so I wanted to bring it up so that way you know. I have never seen this product before tonight. Somebody messaged me, I think it was a day or two ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen the red, white, and blue Engel before. They have them in 7.5, 13 quarts, 19 quarts, and 30 quarts. They are on sale, not a big sale. Like the 30 quart is down to $129 from $149. But the thing to remember and realize about these are the Pro cooler, which means they have the white interior, which is phenomenal. It like you wouldn't know, but the white interior from the gray or the tan interior makes a massive difference in being able to see the bait in there, what you're picking out, how dirty the water is. It's actually incredible. I actually just picked up 7.5 and a 13 quart of these tonight. I just bought them, so they'll be on their way. I already have the silver of the Pro in the 19 and 30, more for open water fishing or if I'm going out kind of middle of season. But anyways, if you want to pick them up, there's a few left. 7.5. I don't think it says how many. The 13 quarts, there's only 7 left. 19 has 6 left, and the 30 quart has 9 left. So I have the link down below in the description. I don't think I have it in the chat. I don't think I can even drop a link in the chat. Let me try really quick. Let me see in case anybody wants to pick it up because there's a bunch of them on Amazon, and not all of them actually have the red, white, and blue. So if you want to pick it up, I think it's pretty cool. If you already have, in my opinion, if you already have the Silver Pro, it's not worth getting. But if you want to get it, go ahead and get it to replace it. I already have the Silver Pro in the 19 and 30. I have the original, which are still great Engel live bait coolers in the 7.5 and 13. So I wanted to upgrade them to the Pro. You also get the new lithium aerator instead of the battery aerator. Anyways, I drained that topic enough. The other new thing that I want to talk about tonight before we get into the sled setups, because I'm super excited for that. Fish Armor USA, they came out with a new shuttle just a couple weeks ago. It is the Pro Ultralight, their most compact, lightweight shuttle on the market. I'm actually going to flip over to their website here, and this is what they've got. So they have a total of, I don't know. All right, we're going to do it this way. So they have a bunch of different products here. You can see their first product they came out with was this guy down here. This is the Shuttle V2024. This is the metal aluminum shuttle, $289. Then what they came out with was the Pro Extreme shuttle. This guy right up here that we can see. Let me use my little zoom tool to make it a little easier for you to see. This guy right here, which is big. You throw your screen right in there, but then you have a flap that goes down. It stands up tall. It's actually pretty nice. Then what they came out with is this middle guy, the Pro Light shuttle. And the criticism that they've gotten so far, including from myself, I wouldn't say criticism, feedback, is this is a very wide unit, right? People have called it the Gens box for live imaging. I think that's a good name for it, but this is extra wide. You can see how thick and wide the sides are on it. You do have a USB port, you do have power ports, you have an SAE port on the front. You got that nice big handle in the back. It's a nice shuttle. It has a docking system that you can use in the bottom of it as well. Here are some other images. Here's the side of it, and here is the back of it. It has the thing about this one that is unique that I think they did a nice job with. I don't know how big of a problem it is in the industry. I've never run into it as a problem, but it is something that's unique. I got to get this this guy up here. I don't think it can. We're going to need to click on it. Oh, this is way better. Or is it? Let me get that picture up that I'm talking about. This right here. This is the back of that middle shuttle. This is not the new shuttle. The next one's the new shuttle. But what they've got here is a plate that you put your black box on. So if you have a black box from any of the brands, I use Garmin. And so I think of Garmin and the GLS-10 black box back here. You screw it in and it's protected, as you can see from the side. So your black box isn't sticking out. If it's not going to get dinged up and hit up, you actually can protect it in there. So anyways, that's one of the unique things about this one. Now, they came out with the Pro Ultralight. Same price, $219.95. But what is unique about this? It is taller and it is skinnier. It is not as wide as the other one. So you're not taking as much footprint, and it's lighter as well. And you still have the docking system on the bottom. You still have all the same amount of ports here. You still have your cord that goes through. You've got your handle up top. What's different about the back of it, though, is if we can get to it, you'll see there's no flange on the back. Ooh, here we go. There's no protective flange around the back of it. So you can still mount your black box to it. Use these thumb screws to get into the battery and the wiring area, which is great, toolless design, but it doesn't protect the outside. So that is the one drawback in terms of not getting the Pro Light shuttle. I'm not telling you to go get the shuttle. I'm just telling you it is new, and that is what's new about it. To me, this is a significant improvement over the Pro Light. The Pro Ultralight is way better. I would anticipate the Pro Light shuttle, once they sell through, probably to be discontinued. They didn't say that, but I think more people are going to go with this other one. So anyways, that's just me. Okay, next new product here. Got two new products here, and then we're going to hop into the focus of tonight, which is the early ice setup. So Musky Bumper, they've also started to rebrand into Fishbumper. I'll link them down below, but you can also go to just fishbumper.com. And they do have a code going, Trifold 2025. You can get 20% off Trifold. So this is the new product. This is the bump board that I use. I use the typically the Walleye bumper. I do also have the Musky bumper, but they've got a 48-inch tournament bumper, the Fat Boy bumper. They've got a bunch of things, but they also have the Trifold. This came out in June, from my understanding. These are the best bump boards on the market, in my opinion. They are tournament approved. You can use them in any online tournament or whatever that you want. Kayak tournaments, they are fully approved. So this is a tri-fold. So this is a 60-inch bump board, but instead of just folding in half, you can see it's spaced all the way out here. You can fold it into thirds. So that way it is a lot smaller than folded up. So I have a musky bumper and I only get to fold the 60 inches in half. So it's just over 30 inches because you got a little bit of spacing on the front end of it here, right? And then the hinge actually doesn't add any length. So instead of it being 30 inches long, it is 20.5 inches long, which is nice for space savings. The other cool thing about it is you can open it up to just be, you can flip this whole thing down around to the bottom here, and then you can just have a 20-inch bump board. Or I guess you can't really just leave two sections open because otherwise the back one wouldn't be even. But yeah, so you could do a 20-inch section if you don't want the full 60. Totally up to you in what you're going to be measuring. But that is a new product as well that I wanted to tell you about. And then before we get into the final and fun topic here for tonight, they've got the VMC tungsten torpedo spoon. This is a new bait. This does not have rattle on it, but it does have the little flasher, which will vibrate, make some noise. You've got tungsten. I'm sorry, you've got, yes, it's tungsten, but you've got a treble hook down on the end of it. It is a tungsten torpedo spoon body in the 4 different lengths here: 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, and 1 1/2. And you can see the weights are set based off of the length that you go with. And they've got a ton of different color patterns. They've got like kind of this pink and black and white. They've got a bunch of these different ones here, and they've got some fun names too. Glow Hot Perch. This one looks pretty cool. The Glow Black Wonder Bread. And then you can see what it looks like with a fish hooked up to it, which is always fun to see. Okay. All right. So this is what I did for the feature of tonight. I went on social media and I started finding a ton of early ice setups. And that's what we're going to pull up tonight. There's a lot of them. So we're going to kind of flow through them pretty quickly, but I want to spend time talking about it. And drop in the comments to what do you think of these different setups. I'll click on them. Of course, you can go and search for these. I think all of them are probably on Facebook. But my goal here with this segment is to get you excited about the early ice opportunity that's coming, figure out maybe some ideas for how you want to modify yours. And then what do you think about what other people are doing here? I know that I'm modifying my stuff up right now, getting it out there. I mean, isn't that the thing that we like doing with ice fishing, is always modifying? I think so. So here's one. This is somebody's take, Zach's take on a smitty sled, still not 100% finished. And this is what it looks like here. So we can see, there's got to be a way. Enter full screen. Here we go. So he's got skis down on the bottom here. It looks like he has definitely an upright right here coming off of the ski, and then it goes across. This looks like a mounting system that I've seen a few people use. And then he's got another one here. And that looks like, yep, that is a Eagle Claw jet sled. And there you go. Pretty straightforward smitty sled setup. He does have, if you look here, he does have eye bolts straight through the toes of the ski, which is the right place you want to hook your rope up to, because as you pull your sled, you want to pull the tips of the skis up so that it comes up on the snow and on the surface. You don't want to be pushing that down, and you don't want them just freely digging into the snow. Because depending on how much weight you have, they could dig in. This will always kind of keep that traction trying to pull up, which is really good. So this is one of the more basic setups. Oh, it looks like he does have a little bit of angle that he is using for reinforcement on this system. This actually looks like the Eagle Claw. Is it the sled cargo kit that you can buy? So I believe I'll link some of this stuff down. If you watch it on the replay, it'll probably be linked. I'll link some of the stuff down in the description and in the comments down below as well. But I'm pretty sure this crossbar in the front and the back is a 2-piece kit you can get from Eagle Claw. I think it's like $70 or something like that. And it looks like he's screwed in from the bottom into some what look like these are maybe cross-country skis. And then for stability, put kind of that aluminum cross brace there. So this is one of the items here, and you can see how he's got it mounted. It looks like he has it all the way in the down position. So that is a pretty dang nice setup. Let me know down in the comments what you think of that setup. And we'll go to the next one. This guy, Zale Hyde, says he can't remember what it's called. It was laying in the back of his yard. Resurrected her and did the Smitty sled thing. Can't wait to try her out. So this is a glide light sled is what this guy is right here. Let's go ahead and go full screen. So we've got, it automatically has the rod holders in the back of it here. But what he did is he actually put some support up here so that way the rods don't flop around, because otherwise you just have the bottom base where the rod butt can go. You don't have the support up here. So he did add that in. Looks like he added a bucket with a little bucket seat cushion on there. And that's kind of what we got. Skis underneath to give it that Smitty sled vibe. He added a handle onto the side of the glide light. It looks like some power in the front. That's the thing that I think a lot of people forget about is like some light, some USB power. If you can fit a battery somewhere in your sled, it's always nice to have some light at night or early in the morning, or if it's just one of those dark and dreary days, something to charge either one of your units, your electronics, or your phone is nice as well. And then it looks like a fairly long rope, which is what you want. And then on the left-hand side, he put another one of those like handlebars that you can see here. And then he put some auger mounts to be able to throw his K-drill on a Milwaukee on there. And then it looks like he's got something here mounted to the side as well. Oh, these are rod holders on the side. So there you go. So that is another one. Anybody here have a glide light? Anybody rocking those yet? Still? All right. Next up, we've got Josh rocking his setup. So we've got, I thought this was interesting. I started seeing these probably 3 or 4 years ago. You can get, I think these are called like cabinet or tabletop, like brackets. These right here that he has mounted are brackets that will actually collapse down. So if he wanted to, these skis will collapse up to be flush with the bottom. And then it looks like he can roll it on the wheels. And it's just a Craftsman like toolbox, if you will, a big one. And so he can put a bunch of his gear in there. When he's on the ice or in the snow, he can use the skis. When he gets to shore, he can pop them up, or when he's going to transport, he doesn't always need the Smitty sled down. And then he can use the wheels on the pavement or on the hard ground or to roll into the back of his vehicle, which is pretty cool. On the top here, it looks like he's got a mount, 2 little rod mounting points to put what looks like his ice chisel up here. And then also an auger mount for, looks like a clam plate into some sort of, looks like maybe an old Strike Master bit, and then a Ryobi drill he's rocking with a milk crate tied up in the handle of the Craftsman toolbox here, which is pretty cool. Let's get another angle. So yeah, so this is what it looks like when he has it collapsed and then into the back of the truck. Really cool idea. I like it. And you can see he can put his hub house right on the top of it. And then he can kind of pull it all out on the ice just by walking out, which is great. And then inside, he's even done some organization. So he's got a jaw jacker, some tip ups. So this looks like a pretty nice wide unit, some rods folded up in there, battery, bobber bins. So he's organized. He's dialed. All right. Next up, we've got another glide light. This Devin is asking for best option for the glide light. Should I go with the coffee table hinges? That's what those are, the coffee table hinges. It doesn't look like he has them yet, but that's what we were just talking about. They're called coffee table hinges, directly mounted to the sled, just buy runners for it, or build a lightweight wooden smitty sled for it. So this is what we got here. Glide light, interesting tactic here. He put a milk crate on the back of it, but that is taking up the spot where the rods go. It does look like he has one rod kind of snuck in on the left side and one on the right side, but he's missing those middle ones. But maybe that's okay because he wants the extra storage space. Bucket with a cushion lid on it, and then it looks like he's got some tip ups here as well. In some sleeves, it looks like 4 of them. This guy must be on the East Coast. That'd be my guess. And then he's got an auger here, StrikeMaster 40 volt. Looks like a steel bit auger. Pretty nice setup he's got here. And then he picked up some skis, and it looks like he's already got the cabinet mounts or the coffee table collapsible brackets already on there. And then it looks like he was going to maybe put this is the Rapala quick attach system in a rod holder to put some type of rod. I don't know what that is, if that's an ice chisel or what, but it looks like a pretty light rope that he's got on it. But yeah, so that is another setup on a glide light. There are a lot of glide lights out there. Before the sonar sled came out this year, the glide light was like the thing that people wanted so dang much. All right, we got another one here. Let's go ahead and pop this image open. This is somebody's pretty basic setup. I've started seeing these, and I can tell you I've never seen these in the store. This is a sled that has like built-in spots for like buckets to go in it. I don't know. Is this a Freybill sled? Drop in the comments if you know what brand sled this is, but I thought that it was interesting. There is this is the only picture he's got on here, but I think there's a spot for 2 buckets to go right inside of here and not have them slide around. It looks like he added a cup holder up on the inside. He's got some 3 rod holders in the back. Looks like probably a couple on the front left. And then he's got wood bracing that goes down to skis as well. So he's got a pretty nice smitty sled setup to be able to throw kind of whatever he wants in it. This is something that somebody could do in no time. You could get a single 2x4 and basically build this setup. Go to Goodwill or something like that and pick up some used skis for 20 bucks, 1 2x4, some black paint, couple rod holder accessories, and a jet sled. And you could literally do this. The skis make a massive difference if you have any amount of snow on the ice, like massive amounts of difference, to the point where you literally can't move it because it's plowing snow. If it's just the tub, you put it on there and you can use 1 or 2 fingers and just glide it right over or through the snow because you have extra ground clearance as well. You have less friction down to the bottom. Now, if you have glare ice, you don't really need it, but it is kind of nice because then your tub's not sitting down directly on the ice either, getting worn out either. So this actually helps you because then you wouldn't need high facts on the bottom of the sled either. So some of the pros there of that guy. All right, let's pull up the next one. It looks like one picture here as well. Smitty sled setup. I'm going to grab a drink of my energy drink just to keep me going here. Look how clean this setup is. So we got Smitty sled. So we got 2 skis on the bottom, and it looks like we've got wood framing for that goes across the bottom. You've got some sort of a sled on top of it. Looks like he's using ratchet straps to ratchet strap down his sled here to keep it on there. That's the way he's going to keep his sled attached to it rather than screwing the sled in. So that way he could take the Smitty sled off if he wanted to and just use the sled. But the thing that I really like about this setup is This front part that's kind of got the angle on it for the sled, he actually put a tabletop type surface on it here where he can have his flasher right up here, and he can have his Garmin mounted up here. He's got some rod holders kind of like sitting straight out. Those almost look like PVC that he like custom made. That's really cool. He's got his bump board up there, kind of a nice working surface table, which is very smart. And then he's got what looks like some sort of homemade like U brackets that are on here for him to throw his K drill. Looks like a Milwaukee with the side handle on it. And then he's got 2 milk crates, a bucket with a screw on top, and a milk crate topper crate. Looks like he's got a power box in here as well. And then he is doing the rope through the front of the skis, which is the best way to do that as well. So pretty awesome. We just do only have one picture here of that guy. Next up, we got a ton of these. So I'm going to fly through them, but I will try to link. I don't know if I can link this whole thread, but I will try to link what I can. This is Nick with his Smitty sonar sled setup that he had set up for this year. I think there are, a couple of pictures here. He's got a video on his YouTube channel, so go check that out as well if you want to. But he's got the sonar sled from Otter. He built a Smitty sled for it. He's got some skis underneath it there. He's got some tie-down points, some that will go directly down, so that way it doesn't come off of the Smitty sled. So that's the way he's got it set up. This is like the new, I mean, if you haven't heard of the Otter sonar sled at this point, you're behind the times this year, because this is like the hot new release for this year. I would say one of the hottest new products of the year is this guy right here, which is pretty dang exciting. You've got rod holders in it. What did he do to modify it? So he put a couple of, these look like the Kolpin, I keep trying to click the wrong button here, the Kolpin Rhino clamps, I think is what these are on the back here. These are the aluminum ones, so these are the Pro Series. And he's got his auger, his Ion Alpha Plus set up in there. He's got, it looks like 2 jaw jackers over here. He's got his sonar pole. He's got an Arc Lab shuttle with a Garmin on it. He's all set up there. He's got a camera up there. And then he built a box system for his, where he's got some magnets for some tools that can go on there. And then he has a fish cooler on the inside. I'm sorry, a bait cooler on the inside. He's got his bucket, and then he's got his spud bar right here as well. Here's another picture from him here at a different angle, and we can see that live bait cooler that he's got in there that kind of fits underneath. So we kind of built a enclosure there, a shelf that he can put his Garmin unit on, and the Arc Lab shuttle on a Larmac 360 with the plate mount that they use with theirs. So that way he can swivel it depending on the angle that he's on. Lots of really good ideas from him here. Super long rope on the front using some clips as well. So that is what he's got. Pretty nice setup. I took quite a bit of inspiration from that, as well as a few others. And then I did some things quite a bit different, because I actually built a sonar sled, if you will. I should actually include that in my video. I built a DIY sonar sled 2 years ago for my live scope, and I didn't love it because of a couple of things that I did to it. And so I made sure that I didn't do that again. And so you're going to really see that video will probably be, it'll be filmed this Sunday, and it'll come out probably next week. I got a lot of videos to still edit and get out. Okay. This guy Mike put together a collapsible Smitty sled. So if you're like, I want to build my own Smitty sled, but I just don't know how to do it. Well, this gentleman gave us some pictures to figure it out. So what he did is he bought 2 skis, and he cut 4 pieces of 2x4 and screwed them directly in to those skis that he's got here. On top of that, he put, you can see a brace across there, And then he's got some of the longer, wider milk crates right there on the top. And then his hub shelter kind of fits right on the inside as well. And it looks like a piece of plywood down on the bottom. And those are collapsible milk crates there, so they can collapse down and everything kind of folds up there. So that way he can just toss it probably in the back of his truck. Looks like a spot for more accessories and stuff there, buddy heater, and then he probably throws that 20-pound propane tank in there as well. So that is an idea on a Smitty sled setup. If you're just looking for a DIY option rather than putting an actual sled on it. And then here is another setup, skis. This guy used some actual aluminum Engel to build his own brackets that he can just put pins in to remove. That's actually a really smart idea. And then this is probably square tube aluminum that has the holes in it as well. And so that's kind of how he did it. And then he screwed right into the side of the sled. It looks like he's got some rod holders on the back and a K-drill set up on the other side. Here's another angle from the front. Looks like a pretty nice long rope on it. Here's the auger on this side of it. And it looks like he used those Kolpin clamps as well. These ones don't look like the Pro ones, which means they're just not aluminum. I put some of the non-aluminum, non-metal ones on the back of my ATV on my Monster Box. And within 2 weeks, I broke one of them. Granted, it was really cold out, and I use my gear and I'm hard on it. And one of these sides busted off. And so I went aluminum with the Pro and never looked back. But that's a pretty nice setup that we got here. Drop down in the comments. Let me know. What do you think? What are you seeing that you're getting some inspiration from? And we will keep rolling through. We got a bunch more of them. We'll go through them fairly quick. And then you can kind of see the names and stuff, and you can go search for them if you want after the show is done as well. So this is a nice one. Doesn't look like we've got any skis on it. So it's not technically, it's not a Smitty sled setup, but it is like probably a walking setup. So he's got a sled here. And then this guy put these cross brackets. I don't know if he made these or bought these or what, but they look super heavy duty. They look like they're maybe aluminum. A crossbar here, a crossbar in the back. And then he's got it set up so that way he has his auger hooked up on top. He's got his ice scoop there. His rods can go there. His live scope pole can go there on an arc lab. Excuse me. Is this his live scope unit? His live scope unit looks like it's in the clam bag. And I don't know what this is. Oh, that's a rod case. That's a long rod case that fits underneath those cross beams. So this is a pretty sweet setup. He's got the Alpha Plus. Yep, and he's got a hard protector on his, that's an LVS 32 he's rocking. So yeah, pretty nice setup there. And then we've got another one. Ooh. We've got a video. Oh, this guy is assembling it. I'll take a drink here. We'll pop the video up. And you all, how do I do this? Do I go into theater mode? Boom. All right, let me flip over to this tab, and I think you'll get audio. So he's walking through his setup here, and I'll play just a couple minutes of it, hop around a couple spots, and then we'll hop back.
So this thing is not going anywhere. First things first, let's start with the rod holders that are on the outside of the sled. I got 8 of them. They're all going to be inline reels. I'm fishing shallow water for the most part. So, I mean, if I was fishing in reels, really deep water, that would be a whole different story.
Looks like my setup.
The rods, reels are the exact same, except for this one. It's a right-hand drive, just in case somebody is going with me that prefers a right-hand drive reel. But all of them are equipped with rods and usually take one of
Look at
these and drill a hole with this and then screw this in because I'm lazy and hate screwing these things into the ice. It's a pain in the butt.
Super smart idea to drill holes in the tub.
But nonetheless, they are very just right here instead of in the little bag that they come. 2 little aqua view is really.
So here we go.
And we also got
K-drill on the side.
chisel.
Nice.
Gotta have a chisel. Definitely recommend it for early ice.
All right, so that is his setup. Pretty dang nice little setup he's got there. All right, this one's got some photos in it as well. So let's go ahead and pop these puppies up. Here's another option. This guy used, it looks like a very similar crossbar to that other one two ago. So they must be buying some similar material. Auger can go across the top. Looks like live imaging in the middle with the pole there, and then a bunch of other accessories in there. Buddy heater looks like it fits. That's the portable buddy. That can fit inside of there. And this is just a jet sled. Oh, a video. Oh. That's one of those things that you use to, like, they sell those, I think, to like hang a broom on the wall. I think those are like by the command strips in the store if you're looking for those. Pretty cool. And you can see he's got some little rubber straps that can kind of go over the pole. And then the way that he has this looks like almost like a kayak cross mount that he's using there, which is pretty cool. Lots of really cool ideas there. Gosh, I love it. This is cool stuff. All right. Next, we've got another jet sled setup. Oh, this is the Eagle Claw. This is the thing that I was talking about. It's this box right here. It's the jet sled cargo rack. This was on sale for $59.99. I think it's actually $20 more than that normal price. This was a sale deal, and it's these black bars. It's a 2-pack. So for on sale, $60. But again, retail price I think is like $80. Actually, does it say right here? I can't tell. But what you get is this bar that goes up, the bar that goes across, and the bar that goes down. It does not come with the tracks. You can buy the track if you want to, but you don't need to. You can just screw it directly into the sled. And then it comes with the one in the front too. So you get the front and the back, and they're height adjustable and width adjustable for nearly any sled. So that allows you to do things like throw your auger up top, throw a hub shelter up top, and then have space to even fit a 5-gallon or 6-gallon bucket underneath the items that you have on the top. So that is an example I just wanted to show you of one of the accessories that you can buy online to do this. And I'll link it down below after the video's over as well. Here's another really cool one that I had seen. This one's from Mark. So he actually put a cover, a top on his jet sled, if you will, where he put a cup holder in it. He's got a 5-gallon bucket with the screw-on lid, hand auger, scoop on it, but he's got a nice flat base deck. And then he's got compartments inside of it, so he can open it up, get to some ice fishing rods here, nice and enclosed, so nothing's going to be getting full of snow or anything like that, which is pretty nice, and a couple of different angles here. So he's got it figured out. I don't know what he has in all of the other areas, like underneath the auger and whatnot, probably some more storage as well. But that is a pretty cool setup there. This is Grease Monkey Bass Fishing. This is from about two years ago almost. So he did up a glide light sled as well, where he's got a nice bracket over here to be able to put his live scope. He's got skis underneath it. He did his a little bit differently, where he has a front mounting point. Oh, so he put some aluminum angle here on the back of the Engel bait cooler, and then he put it, what's this called? A French cleat? Is that what this is called? I think it's called a French cleat. And then he put some Engel on the front of the sled so that way his live bait bucket can actually hang off of the front of it. That's actually a really good idea, because then he can bring a live bait cooler and easily just lift it up, move it around, and not bring it with if he doesn't want to. And then he just has his sled as well, and he's not taking up space. And then inside of it looks like he's got a live scope shuttle. He's got a bucket with a nice lid on it. He's got a pretty nice setup here. What else do we got? That's all of it. But that's a pretty unique and cool idea that you could do on probably nearly most objects, sleds, boards, whatever you got. Here's mods for glide light. This is the same kind of attachment point here that I was talking about that you can get and buy for, I think it's like a wall broom holder. You just put your broom on it so it hangs up in your closet or wherever you hang your broom in your house. And they're putting it sideways to be able to put your spud bar on. He's got a light on the front with a little switch. Really popular modification. And then these are hooks like from Menards. I think these are like $3. Threw 2 of those on there so that way he can hold his auger. And then, of course, you've got the rod holders that are built into the back. And that's the setup that this guy's got. Pretty dang nice. Another glide light here. We've got... Drop down in the comments. You guys liking this? I know this is a little bit different than we typically do. Is this giving you some good ideas? Is this helpful? Let me know down in the comments, both if you're live and in the replay squad. Do you like seeing all of these modifications kind of in one spot, thinking through them? Hopefully we get a good chat going of things that other people are doing, what they like the most, to continue to kind of build off of each other's ideas, because that's how these things really come to life, is all the little tinkering that people can do with them. So glide light, this guy's got a plastic cover over the glide light so that way it does not get stuff inside of it. Both the bottom part and this big main part here. And then he's got some clam accessories on it, some more rod holders, a milk crate on the back, which it looks like he's got a live scope setup in there, live scope pole. He's got the red, white, and blue light flight hooked up here on a clam plate with a Milwaukee drill, bucket with, interesting, looks like a 5-gallon bucket with a custom lid on it that could be a seat, but it also looks like it's his live bait bucket too, because you've got Baby Bubbles aerator going into it as well. So he's probably got minnows in there. And then he's got some toothpicks, a little tool holder here on the side. This thing looks pretty cool. And then a nice big thick rope on the front hooked up with some eye bolts there. Pretty nice little setup here. Nice. From the other side, you can really see what you got. Pretty nice setup there, Eric. Nice job, man. Nice job. All right, let's fly through a few more of these here. We've got another glide light. Looks like they put some big rod holders on the side here. Really like using the PVC mods. We got a GoPro mount. We got live scope in there, bucket. We got some lights in here. Pretty dang nice setup. Some good ideas here. Is this Sullivan tip down kind of idea where you put your rod there and then it will, I have no clue. I'm not sure. Oh, they put a piece of wood on the top where the bucket goes, and then they can put rod holders in it, the otter ones, and probably something just to mount to. Oh, they put a seat on it. Now that is an interesting idea that I have not seen. So mount a seat directly over it instead of when you have a bucket in it. Pretty cool. This person also has a glide light, and what they did is they put a nice seat on here as well, and then some holders here. This is something that I've seen some people do. I know it's the first one that we've talked about where they actually make this into a seat so you can sit on it, And then you look forward and you've got your sonar screen. This is, of course, live scope, and then an AquaView underwater camera. So this is like you pull it, but then you sit on it and you fish from it. Your rods are behind you. Of course, you've got your auger there, and it's kind of an all-in-one nice little portable setup. Light on the front here to be able to see in those low light settings as well. We got another glide light all decked out. This person put a swivel base on top of where the bucket goes, as we can see here.
Give you guys a rundown of my setup for tonight. Got the
this is Grease Monkey Bass Fish
sitting on there
again a couple of years ago. So he had updated his modification. And then we've got some that are not your glide light. We've got a couple of guys that you may recognize here. So this isn't just a regular smitty sled style setup here. I'm sorry, not smitty sled, a regular jet sled style sled here. It looks like we've got some clam lock plates on it. And then we've got just loaded up. So tons of stuff on it. And then Sobe did a really nice video on his mod. This is I think it's called Fish Trap, a fish trap sled that Clam makes as well. And then he's got the Maven auger kind of mounted up to the front here, some milk crates. He's got a really cool way that he mounts his live imaging system so that it's on a bracket and doesn't slide off. Go check out his video. We've got some rod holders here on the front, and then he's got a bump board as well. So pretty cool setups there that aren't using your typical Smitty sled or something like a glide light or a sonar sled. Both of these guys work with Clam, and so, of course, they're not going to use an Otter sonar sled because, well, for obvious reasons, right? Bandit Fishing did a little video here on one of theirs. Kind of a walk around. This is a Snow Dog setup that's rigged out. It's got the Eskimo rod locker on there, live scope setup here. I'll let him talk through it here.
And this thing rips through ice. And then the sled, I mean, we can just bounce literally anywhere we want this. We're on about 6 inches of ice, where an ATV snowmobile would be a little sketchy. This thing is only 330 pounds. It just rips. So you guys want to talk about
a pretty nice setup on a Snow Dog. If you don't get very much ice, those Snow Dogs are awesome because they are very lightweight, especially with the track system that they've got on it. All right, so we've got some crossbar. Did he say what these are? We're starting to work on these Otter. So this is an Otter sled. They're taking their HD track. They're ideal for heavier duty accessories. So this is a setup here, Otter sled, and then some, these look like catch tracks that are on here is what it looks like. And then a catch board. And then you've got, of course, an auger that goes on there. Some additional things in here, some rod holders. So this must be all like catch railing and accessories that are on there. Pretty interesting, nice little setup. And then here's the Otter sonar sled. And this person is like, I don't have an auger mount, so I'm just going to throw this in here. This is I picked it up and I'm throwing my stuff in here. Haven't modified it yet, but you can see how people are setting it up a little bit differently than others. And then you've got accessories in the inside. The magnets on the front thing here are actually incredibly strong. So those aren't going to go popping open. And then you've got, yeah, that whole setup there. Pretty dang nice. All right, we got another one here. This looks like a jet sled type of setup here. And we've got another platform on the front that's just kind of leveled out, sitting on the lip. And then they've got this looks like this is an HD Innovation shuttle that is just bungeed down, which works awesome. Smitty sled setup with the skis, nice rope on the front of it here. And we've got an auger just kind of attached to it with, oh, that's interesting. And hey, if it works, it works. So we've got a couple of holes drilled in here, and then one of those wire, like these are for like extension cords to like wrap them up. These have like memory to them. He's using that to hold up the drill and hold up the other end of the auger. Kind of interesting. And then we've got the spud bar right there. And then we've got on the back, I can't tell. It looks like he maybe extended out the back of it there, and he's got a live bait cooler and then a Vexlar on the back. And there's the front view. Pretty dang cool. That looked like that was from Corey Weaver Outdoors. Another video. Here's one. Finn's Outdoor Adventures is on Facebook.
What's going to be the first little trick that we're going to do to this thing?
Also just talking about what they're going to do. Look how small that Gens box looks in there. It is. These sonar sleds are built to be able to use like the big shuttles on them too, which is pretty awesome. All right, here is another one. Sled setup on a Smitty sled, super cheap. Again, this looks like maybe 2x6 and a 2x4. Probably picked up 2 scrap boards and could make this whole setup. And then we've just got a bucket in there. We got a life throwable, life preserver, coolers, and tackle box. Pretty dang nice setup. And then, of course, spud bar as well. And that is another setup, which is pretty great. Okay, here's one that I thought was interesting. This is actually a listing on Facebook, but I've never seen this before. You all got to tell me if you've ever seen anything like this before. I don't know why he ever wanted $650 for it, but this says Freybill on it. But look at this thing. Have you seen these before? It's got, these are compartments. You can put a bucket on here. You can use this as cup holders and cup holder and cup holder. But these are compartments that actually open up. And then you've got some rod holders here. He's got an auger rack on the back. Obviously, he's modded this thing up. And then he threw some skis down on the bottom of it, auger rack on the back of it. And then you can see he opens up one of the compartments and he has rods in there. I've never seen this thing before. Cool. So handy. But anyways, looks like it might be in stock. $240. Interesting. We got a few left here. We've got, this is a pretty good base model setup. We've got a sled. This looks like an Otter sled. We've got that Eagle Claw rack across the top. He's got like a little shelf, wire shelf on the front and a rod holder, some rod holders on the back. Pretty straightforward setup, but getting you from point A to point B. Pretty nice. And then here's another setup somebody found and posted about. It's not theirs, evidently. But look at this. We've got what looks like a wooden contraption here that's built on skis with 2 big compartments in it. You've got some rod holders on the other side, a place to put your scoop, and then you strap onto the side of it your tip-ups, which is pretty dang cool. The back of it, you've got a little LED light, a nice little shelf here, a kneeler on it, and a couple of other angles here. Inline reels, a little shelf table that looks like it's going to flap out for you as well. Pretty cool little thing. It looks really well done too, which is pretty awesome. All right, we've got somebody taking a jet sled and building a bucket holder, almost like a milk crate mount for the back of the jet sled. How cool is that? I wonder if he 3D printed that. That's actually a really smart idea. It just clips on, and then you can put a screw through if you want to have it hold pretty securely. And it looks like you might have some hand screws in here too that maybe you can tighten it down as well, which is pretty cool. Gotta love these little mods. I know I do. I get so many ideas by looking at this stuff. You guys have to let me know if you do as well. All right. Milwaukee mounting plate Smitty sled. I saw this. I'm a big Milwaukee guy. I got a ton of pack out stuff. And so I was like, this is sick. I don't think I would ever build this. So it looks like he started with this. So it is some aluminum framing, looks really sturdy and well done on a couple of skis. And then he mounted this big plate. This is a Milwaukee pack out backer plate. He mounted on the bottom. Here's what the bottom of it looks like, as you can see here. And then he put his Milwaukee stuff on it. This looks like a milk crate. And then he's got a pack out box that he screwed. This is a clam 4-rod position accessory that he put on there. Shelf accessory here. Some more rod holders. One of the crates from Milwaukee that slides into the lid of the one below it. He's got a live bait cooler back here. He's got some holders on here to be able to hold his live scope pole. Where is the auger is the question. Some rod holders. No clue where the auger is. That's the thing that's missing. Is he going to put an auger holder on there somewhere? And not sure. Oh, this is a YouTube video, which we're not going to play right now, but I can link it down below. And then we've got a new sonar sled almost ready to go that they're saying. It looks like they built some sort of a box. They got the Larmac 360 Summit shuttle. And they built a box that they've got setting in that spot. That way it can swivel. Because the base, I don't think, is big enough with these shuttles to be able to turn it inside of where it sits. Even if you mount it on the Larmac, you got to get above it because I think the corners will hit otherwise. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure. Oh, and he's got the Rapala flip-up table on here too for accessories. K-drill holder on the back of it, and then a spot to put what looks like maybe a rope on it as well. Pretty dang sick. This person's version of the Otter sonar sled. They've got some lights on the front of it, as we can see here.
Up front, mounted a magnetic bar so it could sit on the front and not in the center because it's too wide. Added the jet sled support system for my auger with a through bolt with the quick connect. The little knob on the bottom. Probably can't see it, but it's over there. 15 amp hour battery with a direct connect USB or SAE right here. 2 auxiliary ports, front and back lights. Coming around the back, same mounting system. I have 2 auxiliary connections so I can do that. Magnetic bar, Harbor Freight, so I can put my scooper on there. Everything locks down high and tight. Added this so we could keep the sonar from the transducer from flopping around. All in all, super awesome, very quick build. I'll post some individual photos in the comment, but for those of you who are like at loss of how to do this,
pretty sweet little setup that guy's got there. I like it. I like it. Okay, was that this one? No, it was not. Where did it go? Interesting. I think it just reorganized itself a little bit here. So we'll start at the top and kind of go down from here. This is an OG sled. Check this thing out. This is from Dan Copeland. This was my sled in the 90s. I put a lantern in the small box up here, to keep me warm with rods in the box, no Vexilar or sonar. This is old school. Hand auger, 5-gallon bucket, in your couple of boxes. Nice. You all have to let me know if you got anything like this. Like, that's collector's edition. Like, that would be awesome. Brad Hawthorne, Nick again. So Hawthorne did a build on his as well. He put one of the auto hook setters from Sunfran on his. He's got, it looks like some sort of a mount back there to be able to put his spud bar on. And then he's just got a couple of things with him. And then he put the rope on the front. So pretty cool little setup that he did with his. This was a cool accessory that I saw for early ice setup. Is this guy, I guess, makes and sells these. I don't know how much. But rather than putting your ice anchors back in that sleeve or that bag, you can just get a nice little plastic thing like this, throw them in there with a bungee on top, and then you can just grab that pack of them. How cool is that? Reach out to Jade McKay if you need any of them, evidently. Kind of a cool little thing. All right, here is a another Smitty sled setup. Looks like we do have skis underneath it here. We do have some tracks on here for accessories, which is pretty cool. We've got an auger mount on the back. Looks like we've got 2 stacked of the wide milk crates and lots of accessories kind of tied up on there, some rod holders and stuff. And then the live scope just kind of down in the sled. So this is a nice sled setup for sure. Another angle of it here from the side and then from the front. So nice setup there. This is a basic Milwaukee setup. So this is one of the bigger Milwaukee crates on a tiny little Smitty sled. And then he's got rod holders. He's got his live scope setup here. So it's really like a portable live scope setup. Oh, but he can actually stack things in here too. If you wanted to put another crate right on top, he could, or underneath with some additional rod holders on it as well. And that's what the Smitty sled looks like. Pretty straightforward. It looks like some tracks mounted onto pieces of skis, some aluminum crossbars, and good to go. Pretty awesome. All right, I think we got through it. What did you all think? Was this helpful? Did you enjoy going through some of these really cool setups? Did it give you some ideas? What ideas did you get? Drop it down in the comments. And then hit me up. Show me what your early ice setups look like. I'll be, of course, in many of these different groups, checking the stuff out and getting some ideas. And stay tuned to the channel because I'm getting on the ice, if all goes well, this weekend. We'll get an first ice video out with my gear setup that I'm using, as well as hopefully catching some fish this weekend as well. And then let me know, anybody else been on the ice yet, or are you still waiting? Do you have your gear ready to go? This is going to be an awesome ice season. I got a lot of things planned. It's going to be a tight one for me. I'm going to be fishing hard in December, January, and February. Then I got a little baby boy coming in early March. So pretty excited. My ice season will be a little bit shorter, but we're going to pack it in these next few months. I've got a ton of videos coming out, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel. If you ever have questions, down in the description or the pinned comment, there's multiple ways to reach out, ask questions. I love helping people out. Hopefully this gave you some ideas on how to do it yourself with some of this stuff, save a little bit of money, and have a little bit of fun doing it. But tight lines, if you're getting out on early ice, please stay safe. Wear those float suits. Bring your ice picks, buddy system, have a rope with you. And yeah, hope you catch a PB this year. Talk to you soon. Bye.